Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Natalie Poole. And hard to believe, Coach, you're just a little over a week from starting the season. The weather, I think, has probably agreed with you a little bit for spring practice this year. It's a little chilly, but I'm sure you've been able to get outside.
We have. It's been nice. Typically we're in a little bit more, and so it's been great to get outside to work strategy of the game, cuts, relays, things like that, things that we can't make happen in the turf room.
Of course, you talk about the Tiger softball complex before we talk about the team. A few little additions have been made over there.
They have, just a couple weeks ago, they installed our new wall padding in the outfield, and then also our backstop padding. And with new NCAA regulations, they require that the padding extend all the way to any brick showing around the dugouts. And so not only did we replace what we had before, but we extended the padding. And it looks really great. It looks sharp. I think it encloses our field a little bit better, and it's been great.
Fourth year here at the University of Memphis. Talk about going into that fourth year, because once you get into that fourth year, it really, now that the other teams weren't yours, but this should be all of your recruits in here.
Absolutely. The two seniors that we have, I didn't recruit them, but I'm the only coach that they've played for. And so, we have a good working relationship. We know each other really well. Everyone else, is somebody that we have recruited, and they worked really hard in the program and want to do well. I really feel like things are in much better shape in terms of the day-to-day. Our chemistry is better amongst our team. I think that we recover better whenever we struggle. And I think it's a better, it's just a better working group together, and they've had time to be around each other, and they're a lot of fun.
Oddly enough, kind of a young team for your fourth year. The two seniors, I believe, just only 3 juniors on the team.
Yeah, surprisingly so. You think about being in your fourth year and being so young, but with two seniors and 3 juniors, everyone else is an underclassman. And so it is nice that some of our underclassmen have had quite a bit of experience last year. At least some of them have. And then the young ones that have come in, they've tasted success on a different level, and they're hungry for it. And so I'm excited about being out there with them. And we'll field a young team, and you'll see a young team out there, but a team that wants to win.
What do you see out of this year's ball club as far as potential?
I think that, if we don't get lost in ourselves, sometimes I think as young athletes, sometimes we don't have perspective about the fact that they can recover quickly and everything's going to be fine. Sometimes, they put so much pressure on themselves. They don't understand the length of our season, the 56 games. And so one game can turn into another bad game because, they get a bit devastated in the moment. And so if we can keep them from doing that, and we're really working on that. Plus, I think that since our chemistry is good, I think the girls know how to communicate with each other and pick each other up, and so they won't allow for each other to get lost.
They'll have plenty of opportunities early in the year to kind of make a splash. You're going to start it off next weekend down in Baton Rouge at LSU's Tiger Classic, and you've got a list of tournaments, so you've got a pretty strong non-conference schedule, especially in these tournaments.
We do. We're going to face a few teams that are in the top 25 and some teams that are just out of it. And then ultimately, in conference, quite a few of our teams are preseason ranked as well, and over half of our teams went to postseason last year. And so our schedule will be tough throughout, and so I think the preseason will definitely help us. I'm excited about playing some different competitions, some different teams that we typically face, and as well as some familiar faces.
I know you've got it right there. You're going to make a big swing south, which is good. You want to stay in that warm weather.
We are. We open up at LSU, and we'll play them, Tennessee State, and then also NC State. And then we move from there to go down to FIU. We'll play a few teams from the north. I think we play Long Island, Purdue, and then FAU. And then we move from there back home, which is great. We get to have our Blue City Classic here at our home field. So we won't be hosting it down in South Haven, even though they've done a great job for us. It is nice to be able to have our tournament at our field.
Talk about not just the non-conference schedule now. Let's talk about the American this year. A little bit different look, some familiar teams that you played last year, but also some familiar teams that are coming back into the fold.
That's right. And the thing about it is that with Rutgers leaving and Louisville leaving, I think that we bring in some comparable teams. Louisville made it to postseason last year, but Tulsa's the top 25. Rutgers leaving, they went to the Big Ten, and we replaced them with East Carolina, who has a good coach, and they've competed well. And so I anticipate for the conference to look just as steady as it did last year. South Florida, Central Florida, Houston, and Tulsa all went to postseason. So it's not going to be easy for us, but I definitely think that, we're getting better. We know what competition we're facing, and I think that we're better prepared for what we're going to face.
So you'd probably think around 3, maybe 4 teams out of the league get to the NCAA?
Absolutely. Absolutely. With what we have and, with us growing and getting better, I don't see Central Florida slipping. They return pretty much all of their impactful players. Tulsa lost a pretty heavy pitcher that kind of helped them and some of their older hitters. So they might be a little young. South Florida, they lost a really big pitcher as well, a pitcher that took them a couple years ago to the World Series. And so, they're going to have a little bit of a younger pitching staff as well. However, they always put together a really good team. And their coach is one of the coaches for the national team. He knows the game. He's been there for years and years. And so I expect us to have really good competition. UConn has hired a new coach. And so I think that everybody in the American is going to compete. And, we have opportunities to get possibly more than 4 if we compete well.
With the young team, what's the strength of this ball club this year?
I would say just their fight. I think that, one of the main things when we went out and recruited is to go out after some fighters and some kids that I felt like collectively would work hard and it would matter to them what happens amongst our team. And so they want to be here. They're happy to be a part of Memphis Athletics. And they're happy to be a part of this program. And so I'm excited about traveling with them, working with them, and coaching them.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks a lot as always. We'll catch up to you throughout the season, and best of luck next week.
Thank you.
That is head coach Natalie Poole. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.